Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of The Comic Source. I'm your host Jace. Crowdfunding special for you today. It's a campaign we've talked a little bit about before. Hopefully we're going to talk about it today and also have maybe a special guest on at a later time to talk in even more detail. It's from AWA. It's a fantastic series. It's already fully funded. We're going to learn all about it today. It's called Expecting the Unexpected. It's from AWA, and I have the editor-in-chief, Axel Alonso. You may recognize that name from his days at Marvel. But he's joining us to tell us all about it. So, Axel, thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure.
So, yeah, this is, for those that aren't familiar, this is a big project for AWA. It's a chance to reach new readers, which I want to talk about. But why don't we start off by telling everybody what the project's about? What's the elevator pitch for this graphic novel?
Well, the elevator pitch starts with the writer, who's Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet. You know, the ex-champion of UFC and WWE. A year ago, I was approached by an associate of her business partner who told me that Ronda wanted to talk with me. When I spoke with Jason, her partner, he said she wrote a script. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, just let it be decent. You know, just let it, you know, I'm thinking, just let it be, you know, a freshman effort. It came in, it was amazing. It was clear that she'd worked the script hard for many, many months. And when I got it, I was blown away. Basically, it's about an assassin whose MO is that she carries weapons in her fake belly. One day, she wakes up and she's been knocked up. She's about to have a child. There's a contract in her head. So a million people have a million reasons to kill her and her baby. She has to decide what to do. She has to swallow her pride, go to the father, another assassin, for help, and figure a way out. What I love about the story, it's a urine-soaked, blood-drenched action-adventure with a rom-com at the heart. Because basically it's very relatable. You've got a woman. I'm a father of 3. The moment you find out that your wife is pregnant, it's like, are you ready? Are you worthy? And do you want to bring a child into this dangerous world? In this story, Mom has a million reasons not to bring her child into the world. But she discovers along the way, with every assassin she dispatches, she realizes, I love this baby. I love this baby.
So, when you first heard the idea, and so when I first heard the idea, right, I don't think I realized Ronda had come up with the idea. I just heard, okay,
Yeah.
it's this assassin, she pretends to be pregnant, that's where she hides her guns. And she finds out, through this liaison with this kind of frenemy assassin that she has an encounter with, that she's pregnant, and now she's got to decide, how do I go from taking life to taking care of life? It's called Expecting the Unexpected. Brilliant title. Like everything I heard about it, it just sounded like a really good fucking story. And then you add,
it's very personal. It's very, very personal to Ronda. Because she wrote it at a low point, also when she was pregnant with her first child, Poe, and she essentially wrote the story. It's very, very personal, very allegorical to her own life. You know, her doubts and questions about when she got pregnant. You know, but in this case, you have an assassin who's dealing with a million people that want to kill her. Anytime she goes to the bathroom in this book, which is often, as a newly pregnant woman, she leaves the stall and there's like 20 dead assassins in it. It's a dark comedy. If you've seen John Wick, John Wick is the universe of very, very serious, humorless assassins. This is a universe of total geek, doofus assassins who basically are constantly self-conscious. They're constantly trying to outdo one another. They're very theatrical. They're all prima donnas. It's amazing.
Yeah, so again, I think so interesting that Ronda, because it's just such a great idea, and to have her come up with this, I think a lot of people will be maybe a little bit surprised that she's come up with such a fantastic idea. But from meeting her and speaking to her myself, I can tell she really has a passion for storytelling. So you said please just let it be a freshman effort. It clearly exceeded your expectations. So when you
when I got the script, I was blown away by how sophisticated and nuanced it was. I laughed. It got me by the heart and by the balls. It was really, really fun. The characters are very engaging. And like I said, there's a romantic comedy buried inside of a very crazy action-adventure comedy.
So obviously the story's gone through a lot of development since, Ronda didn't have necessarily experience, writing comic book script and working with an artist and that sort of thing. So once you read it and you're like, oh yeah, we got to do this. This is an amazing story. Talk us a little bit through the development back and forth. Was it kind of coaching her on how to do scripting? Talk about finding Deodato as the artist.
What I did is I said, I'll be your Indian guide. I've worked with countless screenwriters and playwrights and people from other media. So I said, let me take your script and I'll work with you to convert it to a comic book script. It's all a matter of controlling the time and the page. Let me work with you. So I worked with her very closely to convert it to a script for a graphic novel. It was very, very easy and seamless. Again, and I couldn't leave anything on the cutting room floor. It was too hard.
So what about, was Mike Deodato somebody that you immediately, when you read the script, visualized his pencils, his rendering for this story?
Without a doubt. I mean, among other things, I wanted the story to have a fully realistic approach. I thought it was very, very important to whoever drew the book would make Ronda look like Ronda and not someone else, or an approximation. Mm-hmm. And Mike Deodato is amazing at that. So I showed Ronda his work on anything that was Marvel work, to not all robots, and Bad Mother with Us. And she was blown away. There was no argument.
So once Mike was on board, because, again, I imagine you showed him the script and he's like, oh, yeah, I want to do this?
Pretty much, yeah. What he said, he's a martial artist.
Right.
And he said to himself, my God, she's a legend.
Right.
She's a legend in this world. And also, she approached the script with the same discipline as she does her profession as a martial artist. Real discipline, real humility. My son is a serious athlete in 3 sports and jiu-jitsu, and I've watched the discipline he's got is the discipline that athletes have, elite athletes, really translated in this case to the scripting. Humility and discipline.
Yeah, I imagine that it's almost, there probably were times where maybe you're on a call with Ronda and Mike Deodato, and they start talking about martial arts and terms and whatever, and you're almost like a fly on the wall, right? Like just
exactly.
Hearing them
Yeah.
passing things back and forth. Because that's the other thing that's that is really interesting and unique about this book. Ronda was talking about this at San Diego. Everybody on the panel. She was acting out these fight scenes. She got some of her wrestling friends and they're acting them out, and then she's literally filming them and showing those clips to Mike as reference, right?
Exactly. Well, it's even more than that. I mean, one of Ronda's pet peeves is that she's sick and tired of watching movies where the action sequences and fight scenes are unrealistic, and you wouldn't do that in a real fight. Mm-hmm. That would not work. Gravity, physics would not allow that to happen. So the thing is, she wanted to make sure that the fight scenes were really, really carefully choreographed down to the T. So she choreographed them herself by filming each scene. So this book has an interactive component, because when you read the book, you'll go in and see a fight scene. There'll be a QR code you could tap on, and a video will come up that shows her acting out the fight scene in her gym.
Wow.
With friends. Yeah. Every fight scene. It's her before she was pregnant. She acted out with her friends, called people up. They all came in to her barn gym, and they fought. And she filmed all of it. So it's amazing reference from Mike. Also proof positive these moves can be made. You can make these moves.
Yeah, that's amazing. And again, going back to like you said, this rom-com at heart, but balanced out. It's almost like there's something for everybody. Balanced out with like badass action and then fantastic art from Mike Deodato.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny about it is it definitely got a dose of John Wick in it, but it's also got a bit of that sophomore humor you see in Something About Mary, mm-hmm. or Bridesmaids. Again, mom is a badass gal, potty mouth, crazy, insane, fun, loves movies, B-movies, references them when she fights. So it's got a very, very fun sophomore feel to it as well. Because, again, all the assassins, they're nerds. They're nerds who are amazingly good at what they do, which is killing other people. She's amazing at killing people, but she learns also that the hardest thing is to bring life into the world. Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things I was surprised about, I mean, I don't live in that world at all. I'm not really into MMA or WWE. So when I got a chance to go to the panel and talk to Ronda at the press room, I was very surprised to learn that she's kind of a nerd at heart. She likes, B movies, and comics, and video games, and what have you. Was that something that you were surprised as you got a chance to meet her, how much she was into that sort of stuff, just like all of us?
A little bit. I'm not too surprised because I'm used to at this point to seeing how people have layers. Mm-hmm. And also, I know a lot of people that are athletes, elite athletes and fighters who have the same kind of mentality. They grew up reading comic books and seeing B movies. It influenced. It's why they got into the profession in some cases. So It wasn't a shock to me, but it was charming without a doubt. Very charming to see.
Yeah, and
she loves B movies. Yeah,
and I think to that point, like you're saying, the characters in the book and this whole idea of write what you know, the character of Mom, the other assassins, and what have you, bringing this, like you said, layers to them. Just makes it that much more interesting as opposed to kind of some cookie cutter, cardboard, two-dimensional, assassins where there's not that extra layer. There's not that immersion. The characters don't feel real. But from everything I've seen in this book, these characters feel very real, very layered. And I think that, again, that's a credit to what a fantastic job Ronda's done, especially for a first-time effort.
Well, the love story is very much a love story between her and her real husband. Mm-hmm. And so the fact of the matter is, Travis Brown, her husband, plays Hapa, the assassin who impregnates her in the book, who she has to go to for help to navigate through the treacherous waters of these assassins. But it's very much a metaphor for their coming together as a couple and having a child.
Yeah, and from my understanding, Ronda wants to do more of this, not just this one book, but has more ideas with these characters. Now, I'll let everybody know.
There's a sequel written. There's a sequel written already. Yeah.
So this is
already written.
Yeah. So this is live on Kickstarter right now, everybody, and it's already funded. So this is a situation where if you back the campaign, you're going to get it. I saw the first Kickstarter that AWA did for Frank Cho for his Fight Girls. Super high quality. This is going to be fantastic. There's you can get hardcover, you can get soft cover. There's various different variant covers and what have you. But you're going to get it. But I also want to remind everybody, as I always do when we do the crowdfunding campaigns, is maybe this sounds like it's right up your alley and you're a huge Ronda fan, but we understand times are tight. Maybe you just don't have the means right now. The other way you can help out Ronda and Axel and the rest of the AWA team and Mike Deodato and everybody is just share this on social media, right? Let's get this out, spread the word, let everybody know, so anybody who wants a chance to join the campaign knows about it and will have a chance to. Now, will it be out later through regular distribution channels,
yes.
Axel? Okay.
Yes, but not in the same format, not in the glorious format of the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is a deluxe edition, hardcover, or soft cover. Extra sized, so it's a really beautiful big edition. Whether you buy the cheaper edition or the more expensive edition, it's all extra sized. Everybody gets QR codes, the link to video of Ronda talking about the book and acting out the scenes, the fight scenes, so you can do comparison. And also the top tiers, if you want to be immortal, you can, for a price, get drawn in as one of the assassins that Ronda kicks the ass of or kills. So again, if you act now, there's still available. You can be one of the assassins she kills in the book.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought
Mike Deodato.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to mention that. So here's this chance to, if you're a Ronda superfan or what have you, to have your ass kicked in a comic that will live on forever. Your ass kicked by Ronda. But here's the other thing: we know there's sequels. If she falls in love with your character, who knows? You might show up.
Exactly.
Yeah, who knows? You might show up even more. But again, everybody, link in the show notes. Go and check out the campaign. It is a situation where you're going to get the book. It's already been fully funded, and like Axel said, big value here, extra oversized. You get the QR codes, get a chance to read it first and what have you. Because again, I think that there's going to be more of this to come. I really do, with the passion that Ronda.
I'm confident, without a doubt. I'm confident. Also, there'll be the ability to get in a chat with Ronda, a group chat, to discuss the book, discuss her career. Anything is fair game at the group chat.
Yeah, fantastic. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, so when I was talking to Matt Anderson, he mentioned that unlike your previous Kickstarter you did, where I think he said something like 95% of the people that signed up to be notified had backed Kickstarters before,
Yeah.
I think he said 90% of the people that signed up to be notified about Ronda's had not. So that's the other thing that's so fantastic about Ronda doing a project like this, because she does have a worldwide fan base. This is the opportunity for AWA and for Ronda and for this project to reach people who maybe have never read a comic or haven't read a comic in years, or would not consider themselves, comic book fans necessarily, but it's a chance to reach them, have them fall in love with the medium, and maybe create some new comic book readers. Is that something AWA is
Without a doubt,
aware of?
without a doubt, we're very thrilled by that development. In addition, we are thrilled at the panel at San Diego Comic-Con, which was hosted by Dave Bautista. Dave said, "Hey, I'll play Hoppa."
Yeah.
So we're very. It makes it a bit easier to make a movie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With Ronda and David. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Because again, and you may be able to speak to this, Ronda is just, she has fans around the world.
Around the world.
I hear she has like a very big following in the Philippines, right?
Well, many countries, yeah, without a doubt. Any place that jiu-jitsu is big, she's huge. Brazil, you name it. She's very, very popular. I mean, she revolutionized the sport. She integrated mixed martial arts. Dana White, who ran UFC, said no women will fight in UFC. So Ronda came along. She was so damn powerful, so good, like Mike Tyson before her.
Right.
Such a compelling figure, unbeatable, that he had to open the door for women to fight. So she revolutionized the sport and broke down doors for women.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Axel, for anyone who's out there listening, is like, okay, so it's fully funded, great. If you're listening to this on the day it's released, everybody, there's about 18 days to go. So it ends on Tuesday, August 27th. What are you all thinking in terms of fulfillment? Are you hoping to have it in people's hands by the end of the year? Are we looking at early next year?
Yes. Yeah, our goal is end of the year, no later than early next year.
Gotcha.
Again, the book is pretty much done at this point, so there'll be no problem fulfilling. Deodato is amazing. He's very efficient. We're very deep into the book at this point, so we should be done with much time to spare.
Gotcha. Great. Okay, so a reminder, everybody, link in the show notes. Go and check it out. I highly recommend it. If you have a chance to get drawn in, man, that would be amazing. A chance to maybe join the chat with Ronda. She's awesome. She's super fun to chat with, and she's so excited for this project, as I said. And not just this project, but really, the sense I got in talking to her at San Diego was, this is creating stories and characters and telling stories is kind of what she wants to do with the rest of her life. Would you say that's true, Axel?
Yeah, very much so. This is a new chapter of her life. She's taking it very, very seriously. She's learning a lot about writing in various disciplines. This is the first graphic novel. She's understanding the transition from screenplay to graphic novel as well. How you control time, how you lay out a page. So she's very serious about this. This is her next career, her third act,
Yeah. Yeah, because something that you told me when we spoke at San Diego was, you mentioned you were blown away by the idea, and the script. Obviously, it needed to be polished and what have you. But in working closely with her, I think you mentioned to me just how impressed you were with how quickly she was learning and catching on to things, right?
Yes. Also, she's one thing a good writer does. A good writer knows is when to kill their babies, pun intended. Sometimes you have to leave a good idea on the floor. It doesn't fit.
Right.
She's very, very. She's not precious about small stuff. She sees the big picture, and so it was very, very easy to work with her. Thrilling.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You do have to leave that one on the floor for this one, but then you pick it up and you put it in the next one, or the next one after that, or the next one after that. Yeah.
As we'll see, exactly, as we'll see. Yeah.
Great. Well, again, everybody, link in the show notes. Highly encourage you. Take a few minutes, go over there and check it out. It's absolutely amazing. Hopefully, we're going to get a chance to have Ronda on at some point. I can't guarantee. Obviously, she's super busy, but if we can make that happen, we will. But in the meantime, go and check it out. It's amazing. There's also a trailer, I believe, on the website. So where on the campaign page, I highly encourage you to check that out because you can see some of Mike's amazing work, which is just awesome from everything that we've seen. When it comes to the actual size of the book, what are we talking in terms of pages, of length? How much story are we going to get in the first installment, Axel?
About 160 pages of story and art, plus added value features. throughout the book, and the QR codes throughout with commentary from Ronda and video of Ronda acting out the fight scenes and choreographing the fight scenes, as well as Mike at the drawing board drawing. So if you
Yes.
behind the scenes features, you know?
Yeah, so a big chunk of story, everybody. Like in terms of okay, how many comics? That's about 8 books. That's about eight comics
Yeah.
worth of. So a big,
Yeah.
a big story, a big book. You're gonna want. It's gonna look beautiful on your bookshelf, like I mentioned. I've seen other Kickstarters that AWA has done. I know you guys care about quality when it comes to the printing and the paper quality and that sort of
Yeah.
thing, and especially for Rhonda's first effort. Spare no expense, right? I mean, she's really wants this thing to look great, and it's fantastic that it funded so quickly.
And there's various editions at various price points, offering a different format, slipcase, different covers by Raza, by Mike Deodato himself, and by Frank Cho, a wraparound cover by Frank Cho. So you got a lot of different looks, a lot of different options to get the book.
Yeah, there's even digital only if that's what you prefer.
Digital as well. Yeah.
Maybe shipping, you're worried about that, or you just don't have the space because you live in a broom
Yeah.
closet or something.
Yeah.
You definitely want to check it out. So again, link in the show notes. Take a few minutes, go and check it out, and yeah, I think it's worth everybody's time. So as we're winding down here, Axel, one last question: in working with
Sure.
Ronda and developing this project, what has surprised you the most, either about her or about the project overall? Is there anything that comes to mind that was really, wow?
Well, I think the biggest surprise for me was when I first met Ronda on a Zoom, I was totally intimidated. I got on the phone, we got on the Zoom with her. She was giddy to meet me and really intimidated. I was like, "What? Me? Really?" So for me, it was charming to see this legend in her sport and beyond, who was also approaching this with humility and perspective that I didn't expect her to have. Just really, really charming and lovely person,
Yeah, I was struck by how down to earth she was. And again, learning that she's into comics and video games and all that stuff. I mean, she's just one of us, and doesn't. If anybody has an excuse to have a little bit of an ego, this woman that's changed the face of not just MMA and wrestling, but all female sport, right? Rising tide floats all ships. There's no ego there at all.
Without doubt. She's a very positive role model for my daughter. Again, it's a very, very on-brand story for her because she's writing about what she knows, and it's really metaphor for her life in general. Being at the top of the world, the knockdown 1 minute, loved then hated. People want to kill you. People want to destroy you. You're pregnant. What are you going to do? In this case, mom has a million people have a million reasons to kill her. She has to figure out, how do I survive all of this?
Yeah, so again, I think an absolute must-have for fans of Ronda, a must-have for fans of just great comic book stories and gorgeous art, and hopefully there's going to be some crossover there where we get some fans of Ronda that discover what a fantastic world comics have to offer. So, any last thoughts as we're winding down here, Axel?
No, just for me, anybody that loves big action adventure with the Marvel books I edited will love this book. This is a really fun, bouncy, big budget, widescreen action epic with heart.
Great. So, again, everybody, link in the show notes. Go and check it out. I'm also going to put a link to AWA's social media. I really encourage you all to go and follow them on social media so you know when they have a lot of their other projects coming out. I'm also going to put a link to their website as well. They have a ton of great books. Mark Russell has been on multiple times to talk about projects he has going on with them. Frank Cho has some great books with them. Obviously, Black Tape that Dan Panosian did. We had him on when that was coming out. So this really is a studio you need to be paying attention to. You guys are just killing it over there, Axel, with great stories, great art, and I know that you personally don't take on projects for AWA that you don't believe in. So that to me, you have the track record, you have the proven track record. You know what makes a great book. You know what it takes to succeed in this industry. So I sort of think that's all the cred that AWA needs, the fact that you're there. And so again, everybody, highly encourage you, make sure you're following AWA on social media. Go check out this campaign. Go check out their website. You can buy their books with confidence and know that they're going to be out on time. It's going to be high quality. They're not going to disappear in the middle of a series and what have you.
No, never.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't happen at AWA. You can count on quality when it comes to their books. So, so congrats, Axel, on funding the campaign so quickly.
Thanks so much.
And yeah, best of luck with reaching new readers and hopefully converting some of those new comic readers into AWA readers. And we look forward to more of Mom and Hoppa and Ronda's story in the future.
Me too. Yeah.
And we'll extend our thanks to you, audience members, as well. As always, we appreciate the support, and we'll talk to you next time.